Weather Bell Analytics, meteorologist Joe Bastardi. Let me assure you that before this winter is over, you're going to use all your salt. I guess I can't guarantee you that, but I looking at what's going on overall, um, it's going to be very hard to escape this. And if it just happens that it's escape around New York City, well, I don't know what to say because the rest of the country is not escaping this. Over the next 24 hours, not much going on. And again, you see the following 24 hours. Then we see this begin to develop here. So this is by Monday morning. And the period from actually Sunday evening through Sunday evening, starting Sunday evening. So Monday evening, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening. What's going to happen is the low is going to cut up into here. A new storm is going to form here and move along the eastern seaboard like this. And right now, I think it's rain ending as snow and a flash freeze in the big cities, like this has, with the heaviest snow off to the west. Now, that could shift east a little bit, but I do think there will be some snow getting into the big cities Tuesday night or Wednesday. But you can see how the widespread nature of this system, while it's not overpowered, it's not like 2 feet of snow, it's a lot of 3 to 6s and 4 to 8s with wicked cold coming in behind it. And the 10-day amounts of snow you can see are quite generous in the eastern part of the country. And so for you folks around New York, I mean, it just shifts east with 50 miles and you're right in the middle of it. All right. But even if it doesn't, I'm going to show you why this pattern is loaded up. Wicked cold comes in behind this. I mean, this is low temperatures, I believe. Let's see. A Tuesday night, let me look real close here. 138 hours. So that would be, yeah, Tuesday night, okay? And then we jump to Wednesday night. You can see how cold it is. My point is that with the wind and the cold coming in behind it, it's going to be kind of tough to fight all this. And Thursday night, it's not as cold because another storm's coming, and that could bring snow. So, okay. And then Friday night, here we go. This is the zero line. All right. And then Saturday night, you take a look at that and just wicked cold. The most pressure right now over the next 10 days is in this area of the country. I mean, the combination of cold and snow there is ridiculous. So that's where the center of the extreme is. But look, I believe you're going to see a 10, 15-day period where it's centered in there down the road. And I'm going to explain why in a moment. Now, see this. This is it's a 500 millibar forecast, a European. And what's going on here, and this is in 15 days, this is up here. This is going to continue to develop in here. And so you'll have this slide come right underneath over here. And then you have this represents the southern jet coming across. So we're going into a different pattern where instead of just having features coming down and having to rely on them, and a lot of them come in and then cut up, you're going to get the classic southern branch to break through over here. But what you need for the big northeast snowstorms, one after another, is you see that red? You need that kind of red right there, and that's what we believe is going to happen for February into March. And that's the natural evolution of these things. All right, so we've had this big stratospheric warming alert, back in December, and you can see the wicked cold in January that has developed, okay, is developing, right? So what happened in the years that we've been talking about, if you've been following us on Weather Bell, we talked about, well, we had big strat warm events in 1965, late December 65. I know that you like the song December of 63. Yeah, I like that too. But it's late December back in 65. That's when the strat warm was alive. I remember what a January, right? So mid and late January got very cold. Same thing happened in 84. Chicago's all-time record low, January 20th, 1985, occurred after the big strat warm in late December of 1984. And then, of course, 1994, January, February, very cold. And the strat warm occurred late December of 1993. But look at what happened in February of 85 and in February of 94. The cold just didn't disappear. All this winter's over stuff, I mean, you hear it almost every year. I mean, it was 70 degrees late in February last year. People would say winter's over. Look what happened there. This current turn to colder And even though it hasn't snowed as much, started January 10th. You could just look at the maps; everything is flipped around. But in any case, you could take a look at that. And with this being an El Nino type, the cold loves to cut through more, and so we think for the month of February and into March, there's where your cold is going to be centered strongest. And here's the next 46 days on the European. Now, a lot of this is in the front, but this is phenomenally cold. All right, when you're looking at the model, actually seeing New York near 5 Fahrenheit below normal for a 46-day period, that's pretty impressive. Chicago, it's 12 below normal. And as far as snow goes, you can see it's still lighting everything up with a lot of snow. So I think what you'll see is that this will turn, and what's most likely to happen is all of a sudden there's 2, 3, 4 storms in a row. I mean, I really believe that, but it's not rocket science. Look what happened. Look what's happened in the Midwest, right? Look what's going on in Chicago now. 3 weeks ago, people were saying there's no winter coming, right? You see how Chicago is. So, I want to reassure you that this isn't over by a long shot. Maybe this is the year I get fooled around New York City, but if it is, if I'm going to get fooled, put it this way. This is one of the best pattern setups I've seen in a long time. So for most of the country, the forecast is working out, and I think it'll work out in your backyard. That's it for now. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.